Blame Truth here, the Codfather himself, bringing you another video. Guys, today's commentary is pretty much already done for me. It's going to be a sequel to yesterday's commentary, a direct sequel. We'll call it Terminator 2 because it's going to be dealing with AI that want to kill us all, essentially. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, yesterday I was covering a Himblemat Expo and I mentioned that it looks like the map was designed by AI. It didn't look like a human being designed the map. It looks great. You know, does it play well? I've heard people and I've seen people play it on Twitch and stuff. I've heard people saying that it doesn't play very well, and I also saw that the domination flags seem to be placed almost randomly. They don't seem to be placed by human beings. They're not balanced. And this is something that no matter how bad a Call of Duty game is, they know how to place flags and objectives and stuff. This is the first time I've really seen this to my knowledge. I could be wrong, I could be missing something in a previous game, but this is the first time I've seen domination flags that look like this. The B flag is not typically where a B flag should be. Even the opening spawn flags aren't really where the opening spawn flag should be. It looks like it was designed by AI. And maybe, just maybe, this was designed by a human being, mostly human beings. And maybe today's design decision is a human being error. And if that's the case, then God help these devs because they are dumb as fuck. They see a stop sign on the road while they're drinking their soy lattes and they're driving their Priuses to work. And they see the stop sign and they stop about 40 feet after the stop sign and cause a huge wreck and explosion. That must be how slow their brains work. Check this out, okay? Fun fact, Infinity Ward just buffed a barrel that doesn't exist in the game. The Lockman sub, they have some nerfs and buffs there, and then they decide they want to change the LM Nebula barrel. Now, why is that important? Well, because the LM Nebula barrel is not in the fucking game. It's not in the game. There's even some discussion about it on Reddit. Someone said, what happened to the LM Nebula barrel attachment? There was a way to make like the integrated suppressor MP5 in the game. It's a Call of Duty 4 classic, actually, the MP5 SD. It's a great looking gun. It's got like a grip and a suppressor in one. It's very nice looking, aesthetically pleasing. My favorite gun, actually, in Call of Duty 4, pretty much. And this person's just talking about how, like, where is it? It was in the beta. It's not here now. We even saw people using it in game in the Dark Waters campaign showcase that came out, you know, showing off the game and whatnot. It's not in the game. Fast forward to today, the attachment is nowhere to be found, despite being an asset in earlier builds of the game. Now, this is interesting because I don't know if they're just looking at metrics only and they're not playing the game. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Let's cover some Reddit stuff here because I think, truthfully, it's AI based. I think they have an AI bot balancing this game based on metrics alone. Competitive News on Reddit says they probably buffed it thinking it was bad because nobody uses it, forgetting they didn't even put it in the damn game. Tornado Hunter says, the worst part of this is that this deadass could be the exact case. And then Nerion says what I said yesterday, essentially, many of their decisions feel like they were made by an AI reading statistics and not by human beings play testing the actual game. Very interesting. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here. I'm ripping off my shirt and screaming about gay frogs like Alex Jones. At least internally I am. I can't really do that on commentary. I'll probably get demonetized. But, you know, really, would this be surprising to anyone if robots designed this game? Because, man, I can't think of a single human being that could see all the things wrong with Modern Warfare Deuce here and think that it's a playable, fun, functioning game. Now, maybe you don't buy the AI bit, right? Like, maybe you just think it's incompetence. Well, we have arguments for that, too. Let's get into those here. So, Roller Coaster Tycoon says, crazy to think someone would literally see 0 people using this attachment and thinking it's a balancing problem. Surely they could see no one ever used it, right? What the French are they doing in that studio? And then TDVX says, same as the Riot Shield nerfs. They saw an increase in KD when equipped and made it harder to use, but did nothing about turtling. This is by far the worst game ever to try and use the Riot Shield as a primary. It's useless, and they've done nothing to address it being an easy choice as an overkill weapon. They don't play the game, they look at metrics and adjust. So whether it's an AI or a real person making these changes are based on metrics alone. You cannot make a fun fucking working goddamn game if you base your game completely on metrics. You can't. And Modern Warfare Deuce and several of the last Call of Duties are proof of this. It simply can't be done. You need developers that have some soul. And whatever they're doing, even if it is a real person doing this, is essentially an AI just making some changes. They're going through and being like, oh, nobody's using this. Well, it's because you didn't put it in the game yet, you fucking morons. I say yet because maybe there is some kind of positive here and they're going to put it in eventually and they're buffing it ahead of time. But I don't think so, because sometimes they list these changes out. Now, this is like an Exclusive Ace thing, because he covers this a lot. Sometimes they'll say like, hey, we changed this. And then Ace will hand test it and be like, no, they didn't. They're lying. Sometimes there will be things that they change that they don't tell us. Like they changed the, I think, Socken MG just recently, but they didn't mention it in the patch notes. Ace hand tested it and said, no, they changed it. Like they nerfed it. So who fucking knows what's going on? Who? I sound like a fucking owl. But who knows what is going on anymore? Let's read some more comments, shall we? Jealous Vest says, it is beyond wild that QA testing runs the way it does over there. I'm absolutely certain that they do not play test these games at all. That's pretty much verified. I agree with that. I would bet my house on that. It would be as simple as having a whole team divided into smaller teams, and then you run through a complete checklist, literally pen and paper shit, for the love of God, to ensure every bit of content is A, working, B, present in the game and available to use, and C, balanced. They seriously do just be looking at the metrics. How can you look at those metrics and see absolutely no statistical usage for a gun attachment and think, damn, this must be terrible? Just buff it, guys. Seems to have good stats already, but it's just not cutting it. Whoever is in charge of workflow and procedure in that place in whatever capacity has got to have no gaming experience, or very minimal at the most, and a PhD in refining brain matter to complete atomic smoothness. Just confuses me how it honestly seems there is not a single wrinkle in anyone's head over there. Now, here's where it gets very interesting. I like that post because it insults him in a very, I don't know, just, it insults him in a very funny way. But look at this. Check this out, okay? I have a friend, says Doomstick, that was a playtester for Infinity Ward for a while. He couldn't tell me anything specific about the game because of NDAs, but he did tell me there are a lot of bugs that have been reported, proven repeatable, escalated, and then ignored by IW. He said some of them were high enough priority, they were considered game breaking and had been pushed back repeatedly or outright ignored. He wouldn't tell me what they are, and he wouldn't do them in pub lobbies, but he was upset enough about it that he quit. Now, what if he's reporting these bugs to AI, and that's why he's getting ignored and not getting a response? It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any logical sense that they touted 3,000 devs, and yet we get the least amount of content in history. Here's what I truly think, and I don't care if this is tinfoil hat shit. I don't care if people want to deny this. I'll say this. If you want to deny this, prove me wrong. But I think this is as good of an explanation as any. It makes no sense why we have more devs than ever. Over 3,000 devs were touted to be working on this game for 3 years, 3 interrupted years, 3,000 devs. I've screamed it to the heavens, but this is serious, okay? I think that AI designed most of multiplayer. I think AI designed most of Warzone, and I think AI designed most of DMZ. Warzone 2, I mean. I think Infinity Ward made the campaign. I really do. And I think that Treyarch, made the rank mode. I think there are real devs, but I truly believe now, after seeing this stuff, that this game company, this studio, is mostly run by fucking bots. I refuse to believe game devs can be A, this stupid, B, this incompetent, and C, this lazy. I just refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. We have people on here people that have been playing the game forever, telling them exactly what needs to be changed. We have people reporting bugs to them. It's getting ignored. It's getting swept under the rug. And we keep getting design decisions like, oh, let's buff this barrel that's not even in the fucking game. You can't tell me this isn't AI bullshit. Didn't the GTA trilogy, like, didn't that get mostly remastered by AI? And then people complained because, hey, there's a bunch of problems with it. Because AI, as advanced as it is, it'll never overtake, well, I'm not going to say never. It won't, in my lifetime, probably overtake a human being with a soul and, like, a working brain. Like, a talented human being making a game will always make a better game than incredibly smart AI that goes off metrics and statistics, I think. Personally, maybe that's just old man BT talking there, but no. After seeing this today, and after seeing the flag placement and how the new Himmelmatt Expo map plays, and how it was kind of rushed in based on community complaints, like, people weren't happy. They wanted a new map. I truly think that AI is developing this shit. And I'll just say this: if you want to say that's crazy, if you want to say that's ridiculous, again, I want you to go to Ace's videos and, like, look at all the stuff he hand tests and how he will just disprove Infinity Ward. They'll say they did something and then it won't be done, or they'll not mention that something's nerfed or buffed, and it'll be nerfed or buffed. And that's because the person writing the blog post is probably a human being, and the thing making the changes is probably some supercomputer with, like, an evil mustache or something in Bobby Kotick's basement. Prove me wrong, I'll just say at this stage. Prove me wrong. If you can't prove me wrong, I'm going with this. I'm sorry, but, like, I have no, I don't know. I have no patience anymore. I am at my wit's end. And within this narrative, this hellish narrative that we are currently in with Call of Duty, it's about the only thing that does make sense. Yeah, robots. I don't know, man. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to suplex Joe Secott, if that is his real name, through a large D battery. Just a big old D battery. Those things are huge, man. You ever had a Maglite with big D batteries? God damn, it's like 20 pounds. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Do some parting advice.